Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your August 2019 mid-month general reading. We are looking at the last half of August. Welcome to everyone here. Thanks for taking the time to tune in. Newcomers, first-timers, and welcome back to followers and subscribers. And thanks for the time that you take for watching the videos on this channel, and also for sending in all your support, feedback, and comments, and for likes and shares and subscribes as well. And always a big note of gratitude to all of my clients out there. Thank you for keeping me so continuously busy with personal readings. It's always an honor and a pleasure to read for you. And I'm always conscious of the trust that you place in me to do your readings, so thank you for that, and thank you to so many of you returning time and time again. If any of you are interested in scheduling a personal reading with me, you can click on the description link below for more info and contact details. I offer a wide variety of readings in all the main areas of life, and I can usually respond to initial inquiries within the same day or within the first 24 hours. And scheduling is pretty good too. I know I often hear that it's can be quite a challenge to set up readings with readers, with psychics, in a time frame where the subject matter is still relevant. But I'm quite blessed to be able to do readings full time, which is what I do. It's all that I do, 6 days a week, sometimes 7. So I'm pretty diligent at working with both your schedule and mine to get you readings as quickly as possible. So if you're interested, send me an email and we'll go from there. I'd be delighted to work with you. Okay, let's move right into this reading. This is for the earth sign of Taurus, our beloved bulls, for the last half of August 2019. If you know your rising sign, moon sign, Venus sign, watch those as well. It can provide helpful additional information. Sometimes they resonate a little more predictively for you at times than your sun sign does, because as most of you know, general readings always resonate a little differently for everybody. Okay, Taurus. Let's see what's in store for you for the last half of August. We begin with the Two of Wands, followed by the Nine of Swords. We have the Chariot, followed by the Ten of Wands. And from the bottom of the deck, the overall energy, focus, and or challenge for the last half of August is the Five of Wands. So conflict and a lot of stress. It could be that you're having a lot of arguments with someone, perhaps the same old argument kind of going around and around and around. This is somewhat petty or minor injury, petty or minor conflict. The people in this circle are sparring. They're using practice weapons, not real weapons. Nobody's out to really cause serious harm or kill anybody. But everybody wants to win as well. Nobody's willing to kind of back down or elevate themselves and go, this is not really all that important. What are we fighting about? Maybe we've forgotten what's really important here. It can be a card that represents internal conflict and external conflict as well. Within a group of people, whether it's in your social circle or social media or at work, or even within your family, this can represent, you know, people talking about each other, rumors, gossip. But there's a sense of it just kind of going around and around and around, like circular fighting or the same thing over and over again. And it leaves you, Taurus, with the energy of feeling really stressed out about what to do moving forward. Because we have the Two of Wands with the Nine of Swords. The Two of Wands is a card that represents being at a crossroads, needing to make a decision about which way to go. The helpful thing to remember with the Two of Wands is that this card is about long-term thinking and planning. Whatever area of your life this might resonate in, because it's a general reading, so how it resonates in your life is going to vary. It might be within a personal relationship, like love and romance, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. It might be with a close friend. It might be within your family. It might be with a group of people at work or in your social circle. Whatever area of your life you're having this conflict in, look down the road. Where do I want to be a year from now, 5 years from now? If it's in work and career, where do you want to be 5 years from now in your work and career place? And how does this conflict affect that or influence that, because there's a decision made here as to what to do moving forward or how to deal with this. And the path that you need to choose is the path that's going to lead most clearly towards your long-term goal and vision. For example, if this is like a personal relationship, you're dating someone, you're in a relationship with somebody and you want to get married, and perhaps they have fears or they're not sure that they want to get married or they don't want to get married. If your long-term goal is to get married, to have a home and possibly a family with someone, then you want to take the path that leads to that or towards that. So you wouldn't want to invest yourself any further in a relationship with somebody who clearly didn't want that. So it's about choosing the path that leads to whatever it is you want, truly want, your long-term vision in this area of your life. You don't want to choose a path that doesn't at least have a reasonable chance of success in leading you to or towards that long-term goal. And I can see that there's a lot of stress and anxiety about this. And also, if the Two of Wands represents, for many of you, what to do about this conflict, if this conflict is with a group of people, like, you know, at work or within your social circle, then you want to take the path that's going to clearly free you or remove you from this conflict or withdraw yourself from this conflict, or, you know, if there's a hierarchy or a chain of command you need to go through to, you know, kind of expose this, then that's what you need to do. And I can see that you're stressed about it, very stressed about it, because the Nine of Swords comes up when there's stress, anxiety, fear, can't sleep at night. You're thinking about the same thing over and over and over again, too much, obsessively, until it gets built up in your head to be bigger and worse than the actual reality of the situation represents. Because the Five of Wands, while any kind of conflict, particularly with other people, can be difficult, it's at a 5 here, but your stress about it is at a 9, so it's not actually really matching the situation. The Nine of Swords often comes up in regards to fear of the future. Okay, so what do I do if this happens, and what do I do if this don't happen, and if this doesn't happen, and if I choose this, what if this happens? Always kind of trying to imagine the future outcome and envisioning like the worst possible outcome all of the time. So you can lessen quite a bit of this energy. It's thinking about it too much, thinking about it too obsessively, and thinking about it in too negative a framework. In terms of, you know, because all of the stress and anxiety is linked to, what if I go this way, and what if I go that way, and all these horrible things are going to happen, and it's not. It's not going to be that level of what you're afraid that it's going to be. Now, at or towards the end of August, we have the Chariot and the Ten of Wands. So I think that many of you, maybe not all of you, but many of you are going to choose to move forward in a very powerful way. The Chariot is a card, it's a card of success, particularly a card of winning, a card of success, particularly in relation to career and work or anything like that. But the Chariot represents winning through sheer determination, perseverance, and willpower. It's a card that represents being focused on your goal, knowing what your goal is, setting that goal, being focused on your goal, and then doing everything you can, pulling together all the resources to make things work together to propel you forward in a very powerful, goal-oriented, ambitious sort of way. Winning through sheer perseverance, winning because you refuse to give up. And any goal that you have, if you are determined to reach that, and you go through all the steps, you go through all the small goals on the way to getting the larger goal met, if you don't give up, you can't fail, regardless of how long it takes. So I feel like for a lot of you, when you start out with this Two of Wands, you know, which way do I go? I think you make a decision probably pretty quickly, pretty decisively, and pretty definitively, and you end up moving towards that goal pretty powerfully, regardless of what gets in your way. The Chariot is accompanied by the Ten of Wands, which is a burden coming to an end, a heavy burden, perhaps a burden you've been carrying for quite some time. So here, because tens represent cycle completion or something coming full circle. Sometimes cycle completion means that something comes full circle and then you begin a new phase of it. And sometimes cycle completion, you know, like with the Ten of Wands and the Ten of Swords. And sometimes cycle completion represents sorry, that was the opposite. Sometimes cycle completion means that you come to the end of something, like with the Ten of Wands, a burden, or the Ten of Swords, a betrayal, and you move on from it completely. You're moving away from it. And sometimes, like with the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles, it represents a cycle completion where a phase of something has come to an end. You've fulfilled it, and then it begins a new phase. So the Ten of Wands is getting rid of something. It's a burden coming to an end, something you've been carrying for a while. I think this conflict has been going on for quite some time too. Conflict, rumors, gossip, whatever this conflict energy represents. And I think that you've made the best decision to, I think that many of you have made a decision, the decision that's going to clearly remove you from this conflict or get the conflict removed from you. And I feel like a lot of you do that. Once you make that decision, then you act on it quite quickly and quite powerfully. Let's see what advice from Spirit is in regards to this, or any messages for Taurus about this situation for the last half of August. The World, yeah. This is a major cycle completion here. It's a little different from other major arcana ending cards like Death, which usually represents the ending of something external, but it can also represent that something is ending, or a phase of something is ending, and then there's a rebirth or a transformation of it. The World represents that you're actually done with something. A pretty difficult mountain has been scaled. You've reached it, you're looking over at it, you feel a sense of accomplishment and achievement, and you're looking forward into some brand new horizon and all the potential and opportunity that lies in front of you. It's the last major arcana card in the tarot deck. The first being the Fool. He has a 0 at the top of his card. So some long journey has been completed here. Whatever this cycle is, this conflict is, it's time for it to be over and for you to move on completely. Let's take a look at, I'm curious as to the primary reason for this needing to be over and done once and for all. The primary underlying energy or reason for this to end. The Devil. Major imbalance, toxicity. Could be addictions to or mental health, toxic negative relationships. And relationships can be of all kinds. It can be love and romance, can be within friends. It can even have toxic relationships at work or toxic connections, because the Devil represents basically being bound by something, being enslaved or chained up to something. You know, it's a lack of balance. So for those of you who are wondering if you should just end the source of this conflict, end it completely and just remove yourself from it, it's definitely the right decision to make, because you are done. You are so done with whatever this represents that they need to find a new word for done. It is completely over. It needs to be over. This is coming to an end, and you need to move on and away from this very decisively and very powerfully. And I feel like many of you actually do make that decision at or by or around the end of August 2019. So Taurus, that pretty much wraps up your August 2019 mid-month reading. I hope that you found it helpful. If this reading resonated for you, or if any of the readings resonate for you and you'd like to take a deeper look at it or schedule a personal one-on-one reading with me, please feel free to contact me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to work with you and set up a reading as quickly as we can. You can click on the description link below for more info and contact details. I offer a lot of different types of reading, of different lengths of time, of general readings where we can look at a variety of different things you want to look at. I do love and romance, relationship compatibility readings, which take a look at the different dynamics and aspects of each person in a specific relationship. Career, work, and finance, investment readings, 6 and 12-month life overviews, which take a look at what's coming in all the main areas of your life over the next 6 or 12 months, depending on how far ahead you want to look. And that's can be quite useful for planning and preparing or just getting an idea of what's coming in all the main areas of your life. And I also offer gift readings, which personal readings I think make great gifts for people because they're specific to one particular individual, so they're quite unique and personal, and they make great gifts for people who you just really don't know what to get for them. So for those of you who are interested, there's a few different options to choose from, and I look forward to hearing from you. I'll see you all again in a couple of weeks for the September 2019 general readings. And until then, as always, Taurus, I wish you much love, joy, and blessings in your life. Take care, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.